3 games is a mighty long time in football. Just 3 games ago, Kaizer Chiefs management was under immense pressure to turn things around in that the supporters were not happy with the way that Chiefs were playing. 3 games in, Kaizer Chiefs are 9 points in, and that they are back into Confederation Cup, having beaten Orbit College today 3-1 in Nelson Mandela. Now, going into a game in Kaizer Chiefs, they were just looking for one thing only, and that was to make sure that they collect maximum points to ascertain their place back into the top 3. Now, from the onset, we saw in Kaizer Chiefs that they were looking to play the long ball, in that they played the ball back to Upavuma, and the ball was played into a final third, a year orbit. Now, the way that Kaizer Chiefs started has basically highlighted the way that Kaizer Chiefs has been playing throughout the season, in that they were not really looking to play the ball out, and that every time that they play the ball long, is that they are creating a 50-50 situation where they will be losing the ball. Now, for Kaizer Chiefs, I also picked up early in the first half in that they were making too many defensive errors in that the way that they were defending. In that when the defenders of the Kaizer Chiefs had Ebola, more especially Umsimango, a lot of the times the midfielders were not opening up. I'm not sure whether it was the instructions from the coaches or whether the midfielders were not availing themselves because they were not comfortable in collecting the ball. Now, in the first half, as I said, because of the mistakes and the defensive Kaizer Chiefs not being as comfortable, we saw Umsimango, as he was trying to clear the ball away, he impeded the player a orbit, and then from that resultant a mistake that was caused by Kaizer Chiefs, orbit was able to get a free kick. Now, if we look at the free kick that the Kaizer Chiefs considered, I do not understand is that you've got 3 centre backs, you've got Cross, you've got McCarthy as well as Umsimango. However, the ball gets played to the back of the pole and none of its defenders win a ball for the Kaizer Chiefs. I would expect that one of the centre backs is able to pick the ball up and win the ball, because the ball was played to the back post and the ball was played back in. Also, a second ball that came in, it was very disappointing from Uprise Puma, considering that the ball bounced in front of him and he had more than enough time to clear the ball. Instead of clearing the ball, he fluffed at the ball, and the ball it passed him at his near post. As I've been saying, that the Kaizer Chiefs, they need to make a signing to a goalkeeping department, because as much as Uprise Puma has been at the Kaizer Chiefs for a long time, but I said before that is not really improved the goalkeeping department at the Kaizer Chiefs. Now, Kaizer Chiefs having gone behind, I was really impressed by the fact that they were not really willing to sit back too long, in that they took a game back to orbit, because I feel like once they considered that goal, it brought a step, it made them take a game to orbit, in that they were able to pull the game goal back at 1-1 going into halftime. Now, coming out of halftime, Kaizer Chiefs already, we know that they are under pressure, and anything less than 3 points will mean that the Kaizer Chiefs will struggle to keep a noise of offense, and it will add more pressure to the management of the Kaizer Chiefs. Now, we saw that the Kaizer Chiefs in the second half, what I picked up is that they were able to play with more pace. What I mean by more pace is that in the last third, they were able to play the ball quicker, and by playing the ball much more quicker, they were able to shift the defenders as a orbit out of a position. And because they were able to shift the defenders of the orbit out of a position, they were able to create spaces where the strikers, the Kaizer Chiefs, were able to run behind them. Now, credit to Kaizer Chiefs for a goal that they played, because we saw that ball, it was played out wide. The ball, as they took defenders as a orbit on from a right hand side, Kaizer Chiefs, and then the ball was played back in. Now, it was a great composure by Utuba, by being aware of where he was and running over a ball by skipping, because most of the work had already been done by a right wing. All he had to do is just skip the ball and allow him to finish Oibola in the 6-yard box. Now, if the Kaizer Chiefs are going to score more goals like that, it's going to be more encouraging, because you see where the goal came from, and there was more build up from the Kaizer Chiefs. Credit again for the Kaizer Chiefs for bringing on Vilakazi, because Vilakazi did not allow it defense a orbit to sit back, because as soon as he came on, and he did not really try to take defenders as a orbit on 1v1, but instead he was looking to play Ebola through a build-up play, because we saw that Ebola was played through to Vilakazi. Vilakazi played it back to Mabue, and Mabue looked for Ebola direct through into strikers where they are in the last third, and because Undlovu had joined last third of attack, Usilva, because of Undlovu had run into space, he laid the ball onto Undlovu, and Undlovu was able to finish a baller for Kaizer Chiefs. Now that third goal is what most of the fans of Kaizer Chiefs have been crying for, is that more than a result, Kaizer Chiefs fans, they want to see a build-up play from Kaizer Chiefs, build-up play in that they want to know where the goal is going to come from, and that when they do get a goal, they know that the ball, it was a player build-up play, and that because you have a build-up play, it also increases the chances of going forward to also get similar kind of chances for the Kaizer Chiefs. Now, after a goal at 3-1, I would like to say it was at that time the game was over for Kaizer Chiefs. For Obit, there was no ways that they were going to come back, because the Kaizer Chiefs at that point, they brought on Ruveni Pai, and credit again for Ruveni Pai. Even though it was in the last 10 minutes, he was able to run at the defense area Obit, and because he was able to run at the defense area Obit, he was forcing them to stay back and not really allowing them to come at the Kaizer Chiefs and maybe force a late goal where they can force the game into where it's 3-2 going to the last few minutes of the game. Now, Kaizer Chiefs, I would like to credit them for winning today. However, I would like to highlight though that I'm not really impressed by it defense Yabo, because every time it defense Yabo is put under a bit of pressure, it seems like they will be conceding. Also at the back, there's no clear leader for Kaizer Chiefs. You are not sure who is the one who is carrying Kaizer Chiefs, because in order for a team to do well, more especially defense, the defense needs to work as a unit, and the unit, there needs to be a clear leader so that a team can be more balanced. For Kaizer Chiefs, I guess it is a good 3 points, considering that it is the last few games of the league, and at this point, any points collected by Kaizer Chiefs will help their cause to enter CAF Confederations Cup if they are able to finish in the top 3 of the league. On my side, if you do have any comments, if you viewed the game any other way, please drop your comments. I want to hear what you view, how you view the game. If you feel that Kaizer Chiefs perform the way that they are supposed to perform, or do you still feel that there is room for improvement for Kaizer Chiefs, please drop that in the comments, hit the like button, also subscribe, and then I will catch you on the next one. Thank you.